Let me tell you something most people completely miss when it comes to foreplay. It doesn't actually start when you're both lying in bed. It starts hours before that moment, sometimes even days. Foreplay is not just a physical act, it's the slow, invisible build-up that's happening long before either of you touches each other. Think about it, the most exciting part of a movie isn't just the climax, it's the tension, the glances, the moments of almost. That's what makes the payoff so good. You create that same kind of build-up in your relationship. A simple, lingering look when you're both getting ready in the morning, a playful text that makes him grin in the middle of his workday, brushing past him in the hallway just close enough for him to feel the warmth of your skin without it looking intentional. That's foreplay. It's you planting little seeds of desire that grow over time until he's practically counting down the minutes until you're alone together. Most people think foreplay is about what happens before sex in a single night. But when you understand the real game, you know it's about creating an ongoing loop of desire that never really turns off. It's knowing how to keep the spark alive, so he's thinking about you while he's at the grocery store, while he's on a Zoom call, while he's driving home, because you've been in his head all day without him even realizing it. Here's the thing, men crave the chase. And no, that doesn't mean you need to play childish games or pretend you're not interested. It means you understand that anticipation is intoxicating. When you show him little flashes of affection, a teasing remark, a quick kiss that's just too short, you're training his mind to associate you with excitement. You're creating moments where he's left thinking, God, I need more of her. Imagine you're at dinner together. Instead of just sitting and eating, you lean in close to whisper something in his ear. Not even something sexual, just something that makes him laugh or feel connected to you. But as you pull away, you let your hand rest lightly on his arm for a second too long. That touch, so casual, yet so intentional, becomes the spark that ignites everything else later on. That's the magic of foreplay outside the bedroom. What makes this so powerful is that it removes the pressure. If you only start foreplay right before you're intimate, it can feel forced. But when you weave it naturally into your day, it becomes part of your connection. You're not switching gears into intimacy mode because you've already been building it all along. By the time you do touch each other, you've created a storm of chemistry that feels inevitable. It's about learning to see opportunity in the little moments, the way you greet him after a long day, the way you hold his gaze just a little longer than normal, the way you brush your fingers over his when you hand him something. Each of these is a silent message, I want you. And when a man feels wanted, not just physically, but in the day-to-day moments, it makes the eventual intimacy explosive. So start thinking beyond the bedroom. Seduction begins in the spaces in between. Those moments that seem ordinary but become unforgettable because of the way you make them feel charged. That's when foreplay stops being a warm-up and starts becoming the game you both can't stop playing. Most people ruin the magic of intimacy because they're in too much of a hurry. They think passion is about racing to the peak, about moving fast so you can get there. But here's the truth. When it comes to seduction, the slower you go, the more powerful the pull becomes. Desire doesn't flourish under speed, it thrives under tension. It's the pause, the hesitation, the moments where you let him feel like he's right on the edge, but can't quite have all of you yet. Think about the last time you really craved something. Was it when you got it instantly, or when you had to wait? Imagining it over and over until the anticipation was almost unbearable. That's what makes the slow burn so intoxicating. It turns every touch into a promise, every glance into a spark, every breath into a tease. When you give a man everything at once, you satisfy him for the moment. But when you let the build-up play out, you hook him in a way that leaves him addicted. The slow burn is about confidence. It's about knowing you don't have to rush because you already have his attention and you know exactly how to keep it. It's brushing your lips over his, then pulling back with a smile before he gets the kiss he wants. It's letting your fingertips trail down his arm so lightly he's not even sure if he imagined it. It's letting the silence between you hang in the air, charged with meaning, before you speak again. Those little pauses, those moments where nothing is happening, are where everything is actually happening. When you move slowly, you make him notice you more. He starts to pick up on the little details, the scent of your hair, the way your skin feels under his touch, the sound of your breath when you're close. It turns intimacy into an experience rather than an event. And because you're not rushing, you give him time to sink into it, to become completely present in the moment with you. Slowing things down also gives you the power to control the energy. You can choose when to push forward and when to pull back. You can build him up to the point where he's hanging on every movement, every shift in your body, every flicker of your eyes. It's not about denial, it's about mastery. You're showing him that you can give pleasure in layers, not just in one quick burst. Imagine you're lying next to him, your hands exploring, your lips tracing a path over his skin, but you don't rush to the places he expects. You linger. You explore the curve of his jaw, the line of his collarbone, the inside of his wrist. You create a map of his body with your touch, but you deliberately avoid the obvious destination. By the time you finally get there, his body is already begging for you. That's the slow burn, making the destination feel like the most rewarding place in the world, because the journey was so deliciously drawn out. The beauty of this is that it doesn't just make the moment more intense, it makes the memory of it last. When a man experiences the slow burn, he carries it with him. He replays it in his mind because it wasn't just physical, it was psychological. You made him want you not just with his body, but with his mind. And once his mind is hooked, his body will always follow. That's why slowing down isn't about holding back. It's about creating a craving so deep that when you finally give him what he's been waiting for, it doesn't just feel good. It feels unforgettable. Foreplay isn't just about touch. It's about waking up every nerve in his body by pulling him into a full sensory experience. Most people focus only on what their hands are doing, but true seduction happens when you learn to engage his sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch all at once. It's like conducting a symphony where each sense is an instrument, and when you play them together in harmony, you create something unforgettable. Start with his eyes. Visuals are powerful triggers, and it's not just about wearing something revealing. It's about creating a picture he can't look away from. The way you tilt your head when you smile, the slow way you move when you walk toward him, the way you hold his gaze just long enough to make him feel like the only man in the room. A glance can be more electrifying than a kiss if you use it right, because it sets his imagination on fire. Then there's sound. Your voice is one of the most underestimated tools you have. Lower it, soften it, and let each word linger just a fraction longer than normal. Whisper something in his ear, not necessarily something explicit, but something that draws him closer. Even a breath against his skin can make his pulse race. And don't underestimate the power of silence. When you pause before responding, when you let the space between your words hang, you create a tension that pulls him in. Smell works on a primal level. A hint of your perfume, the natural scent of your skin, even the faintest trace of your shampoo. These are anchors for memory. Long after you've left the room, he'll catch that scent somewhere else and be transported right back to you. If you've ever noticed how certain smells can instantly remind you of a person, you understand the effect. Choosing a signature scent that's subtle but consistent can turn you into a permanent fixture in his senses. Taste is often overlooked, but it's one of the most intimate senses you can engage. A lingering kiss, the taste of something sweet you share, the trace of wine on your lips. It all creates a sensory memory he'll crave. The beauty of taste is that it's both fleeting and powerful. The moment passes quickly, but the impression lingers in his mind. And then, of course, there's touch, the sense most people think of first. But the secret isn't in constant contact, it's in contrast. Soft one moment, firm the next, warm skin followed by the cool air as you pull away. Touching where he doesn't expect, letting your fingers graze his neck, tracing patterns on his back, or brushing your hand against his knee under the table. The more variety you bring, the more his body lights up in response. When you combine all of these senses, you create an experience that's more than physical. It becomes immersive. He's not just being touched, he's being drawn into your world. He's seeing you, hearing you, smelling you, tasting you, feeling you, all at once. And because you're layering these sensations, you're making it impossible for him to disconnect, even for a second. That's what makes this so addictive. He's not just craving your body, he's craving the way you make him feel on every level. When you engage all his senses, you're not giving him one memory. You're giving him 5, all tied together. And the next time he's near you, every glance, every breath, every touch will remind him of that moment, pulling him right back into the craving you created. Physical chemistry can get someone's attention, but emotional connection is what makes them stay. You can touch a man's body, but when you touch his mind and heart, you become unforgettable. Emotional foreplay is about creating that deep undercurrent of connection that makes every physical moment feel amplified. It's the difference between being exciting in the moment and being the person he can't stop thinking about after. It starts with making him feel truly seen. Most people are so busy trying to impress that they forget to be genuinely curious. Ask questions that go beyond the surface. Listen, not just to the words, but to the pauses, the shifts in his tone, the moments where he seems more animated or guarded. When you notice those details, you show him that you're not just hearing him, you're understanding him. That understanding builds trust, and trust is the foundation of intimacy. Confidence plays a huge role here. When you carry yourself like you know your worth, it shifts the entire dynamic. Men are drawn to women who don't need validation but still choose to share themselves openly. There's a quiet power in being able to laugh at yourself, in sharing your quirks without apology, in owning your desires without shame. That kind of authenticity makes a man feel like he's with someone real, and real is rare. Vulnerability is another layer. Letting him see the parts of you that aren't perfect doesn't make you weak, it makes you relatable. It invites him to drop his guard too. When two people can be themselves without fear of judgment, the connection deepens instantly. It's not just about seducing him physically, it's about making him feel safe enough to be fully present with you. Emotional foreplay also means knowing when to feed his confidence. A man will remember how you make him feel about himself. If you make him feel capable, strong, appreciated, not in and over the top way, but through genuine acknowledgement, he will associate that feeling with you. Tell him when he's done something that makes you feel cared for. Let him know you notice his effort. Those little affirmations are like emotional fuel. Playfulness is equally important. Teasing him in a way that's light and affectionate creates a unique intimacy. Inside jokes, spontaneous adventures, shared silliness, they all become little private worlds you share together. That sense of us against the world is one of the strongest forms of foreplay there is. It reminds him that being with you isn't just passionate, it's fun. And when you combine all of this, confidence, vulnerability, curiosity, playfulness, you create an emotional rhythm that makes the physical side so much more intense. When he feels deeply connected to you, every touch carries more meaning. A simple kiss becomes charged because it's backed by trust. A moment of eye contact can make his chest tighten because it feels like you're looking right into him, not just at him. Emotional foreplay is the kind of seduction that doesn't fade with time. Looks can change, routines can settle in, but the way you make someone feel becomes addictive. When a man feels like he can be both desired and understood, both wanted and accepted, he won't just crave your touch, he'll crave you. And that's the real power, knowing you can connect with him so deeply that the physical side is just an extension of something much greater. One of the fastest ways to make desire fade is to become predictable. When he can script exactly what's going to happen, when he knows every move before you make it, the excitement starts to die down. Human nature craves novelty, it's wired into us. And in intimacy, unpredictability isn't about chaos, it's about keeping the energy alive so every encounter feels fresh. When he doesn't quite know what's coming next, you keep his attention locked on you. Unpredictability starts with breaking patterns. If you always initiate in the same way, switch it up. If you usually wait for him to make the first move, surprise him by taking control before he's even expecting it. If you always end the night the same way, change the order, change the pace, change the setting. That little jolt of difference makes him pay attention again, because his brain is now alert, wondering what's going to happen. You can play with location. If you've only ever been intimate in the bedroom, take it to a different space. Maybe it's the living room floor with candles flickering around you. Maybe it's in the shower where the water becomes part of the experience. Maybe it's somewhere spontaneous that makes you both laugh in the middle of it. A change of setting makes even familiar touch feel new again. Then there's rhythm. Sometimes move fast, sometimes slow, sometimes both in the same moment. It's like music. If the beat never changes, the song becomes background noise. But when the rhythm shifts unexpectedly, it grabs your attention. The same principle applies here. Let him think you're going one way, then change direction. It turns every second into something he has to be present for. Unpredictability isn't just physical, it's also mental. Send him a text in the middle of the day that's different from anything you've said before. It could be playful, suggestive, or even just deeply sincere. If you usually flirt, surprise him with vulnerability. If you're usually sweet, throw in something teasing and daring. The contrast makes the interaction memorable. The beauty of this approach is that it makes him realize he doesn't have you figured out. And that's incredibly attractive. Men love a sense of mystery, not because they want distance, but because it means there's always more to discover. When you keep revealing new sides of yourself, whether it's a sudden burst of confidence, a bold suggestion, or a quiet, tender moment you've never shown before, you remind him that you're not static, you're evolving, and he gets to keep discovering you. Even little changes can have a huge effect. A different scent, a new way you style your hair, an unexpected piece of clothing he's never seen you wear. All of it adds to the feeling that being with you is never on autopilot. You're showing him that he can't take the experience of you for granted because you'll always bring something new. And the best part is, unpredictability feeds anticipation. When he never knows exactly what's coming next, he's always looking forward to the next time. That's how you keep desire alive long after the early excitement has passed. You're not just keeping him guessing, you're keeping him engaged, fully present and craving more. Because in a world where so much becomes routine, being with someone who can still surprise you is a rare and powerful gift. There's a secret most people overlook when it comes to making intimacy unforgettable. You don't always have to give everything. In fact, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stop just before the peak, leaving him teetering on the edge, aching for more. It's human nature to want what we can't fully have, and when you end on a cliffhanger, you turn that moment into something he'll replay over and over in his mind. Think about your favorite TV series. The reason you keep watching isn't because they wrap up every episode neatly. It's because they leave you with questions, with tension, with a need to know what happens next. You can do the same in your intimate life. When you give him an incredible experience but leave just a little bit unfinished, you create a hunger that lingers long after you've walked away. This doesn't mean playing cruel games or withholding affection. It's about being intentional. You're building intensity, layering connection, igniting chemistry, and then at the exact moment he's sure it's about to peak, you ease back. Maybe it's stopping to laugh together. Maybe it's leaning in for a deep kiss, then whispering something in his ear that makes him shiver and pulling away. Maybe it's deciding to end the night wrapped up in each other without taking it all the way. Those moments drive him wild because they tell him, without words, that there's more coming and he has to wait for it. The magic of this is in how it changes the way he thinks about you. Instead of that moment being a single memory, it becomes an ongoing story in his head. He replays the way you looked at him, the way your hand lingered, the way you left him wanting. Every time he thinks about it, the anticipation grows stronger. By the time you're together again, he's already been living in that tension, and the energy between you is electric before you even touch. Ending on a cliffhanger also communicates confidence. You're not in a rush to prove anything because you already know you have his attention. You're showing him that you control the pace, that you can lead the rhythm of your connection. That kind of self-assuredness is magnetic. It makes him feel like he's with someone who knows her own power. It's also a way to make your intimacy more sustainable. Desire thrives on space. When you give him everything, every time, it can start to feel less special. But when you leave gaps, when you let anticipation build between encounters, each time becomes more charged. You're not just giving him an experience, you're making him count down to the next one. And here's the beautiful part. It's not just about physical satisfaction. Ending on a cliffhanger leaves him craving your presence, your energy, your attention. It's not just his body that wants more, it's his mind and heart too. You're giving him a reason to think about you in the quiet moments, to look forward to the next time with an eagerness that borders on obsession. When you master this, you stop being just a chapter in his life and start becoming the story he can't put down. Because while anyone can create pleasure in the moment, very few people know how to create a craving that lasts long after the moment has passed. And that's what keeps him coming back. Not just for your touch, but for the way you make him feel when you leave him wanting just one more page.